Wow, wow, wow. Bournemouth beat Nottingham 5-0. Barcelona smashed 7 past Valencia. And what's this? Man U actually won a game? Welcome back to Predictions everyone, where each week I'll be sharing with you my favorite predictions for the upcoming round of EPL and La Liga games. This week we've got some very important games coming up. Arsenal vs Man City, two teams chasing the league leaders Liverpool, who are away to the very much in-form Bournemouth. Brentford, they're back at home where they've been playing so well this season, and they're hosting a Tottenham side who have now slipped down to 15th place in the league. All of that plus a whole lot more. Be sure to stick around to the very end where I'll be sharing with you my top 3 safest predictions for this weekend's game and a juicy mega multi for this round of games as well. Before we kick off our predictions this week, please do me the small favor of subscribing to this channel and helping me grow this footballing community. And now, let's talk football. We kick off our predictions this week with a game that could have a huge impact on the title race. It's the high-flying Bournemouth hosting first place Liverpool. Last weekend, Bournemouth ended Nottingham Forest's 9-game unbeaten run, unapologetically smashing them 5-0 at home. Now, I personally thought that this was going to be a close game, possibly with both teams scoring and maybe ending up in a draw. I guess no one told Bournemouth that script though. They took the game by the throat, and Nottingham Forest as well, and they were like, who do you think you are up here in third place? Bournemouth going forward in that game certainly did have the Midas touch, as everything they touched seemed to turn to goals, especially for Justin Kluivert, who opened the scoring in that game before also assisting a goal for the new hat-trick hero, Dango Utara. Possession-wise, the game was fairly even, but Bournemouth, they just made their possession count a whole lot more. It was a really rare off day for Nottingham Forest, and it was also the first time in 9 games that they have failed to score a goal in the game. Bournemouth coming into this game will therefore be full of confidence and looking to add to their growing list of current surprise results. Liverpool confidently dispatched of Ipswich Town in their last game, no surprise there. They headed into the break with a comfortable 3-goal cushion, and Mo Salah collecting his 100th goal for the club. Cody Gakpo also scored a brace in that game to continue his fine form in front of goal as well. Liverpool are still 6 points clear at the top of the table, and they have a Champions League midweek game against PSV to overcome before they travel to the Vitality Stadium this weekend. Bournemouth haven't lost in 13 games straight now. Can they do Arsenal and the other top teams a favour by taking points off the league leaders Liverpool? Liverpool, they've comfortably won the last 3 times these teams have met, but this is a very different Bournemouth side. Both teams are extremely good going forward, but so I can see goals in this game. I am tempted to go for both teams scoring, but if one team really has a good day and the other team has a bad day, then it could just be a comfortable victory. But either way, I see goals in this game. So my prediction for Bournemouth at home to Liverpool is for over 2.5 goals. Honestly, I just can't pick a winner right now. I know that it's going to be a fantastic game and one you do not want to miss. Let me know your predictions for this very important game down in the comments. Next up, we're off to see how Bournemouth's last victims respond at home this weekend, as Nottingham Forest are welcoming Brighton to the City Ground. Both of these teams were surprisingly on the losing end of their games last week, as Brighton also lost at home 1-0 against Everton. Even after last week's debacle, Nottingham Forest still sit proudly up in third place and are 3 points ahead of Manchester City, and will be looking to turn the corner as quickly as possible and get back to winning ways. They do look better when they're playing at home, and they do get better results at home, but in their last 3 EPL matches, they have also conceded 8 goals. And aside from last week's slip-up against Everton, Brighton scored 3 goals away against Man U, 2 goals away against Ipswich, and they've scored goals in like every away game for like their last 10 games. They have also conceded in 9 of those 10 games away from home, and that makes me really think that both teams scoring might be a good prediction for this game. But look, to be honest, most of Brighton's away games, they do see over 2.5 goals in them, so I'm going to stick with over 2.5 goals for my prediction for Nottingham Forest versus Brighton. And now we head way down the table and also down to Portland Road, as second last place Ipswich Town hosts last place Southampton. Now there's a very good chance that the next time these two teams are playing each other, it will be in the Championship. Southampton, well, miracle aside, they're going to be relegated. But Ipswich Town, however, they're only 2 points away from escaping the relegation zone. Now, in all fairness, they did get smashed in their last 2 games, Ipswich, but they were up against Liverpool and Man City. And I mean, before that, they lost at home 2-0 to Brighton as well. But prior to those 3 games, though, they were playing some decent football and getting a few draws at home and even that home win against Chelsea as well. Southampton, they've also been playing better football now. I mean, you can't play worse, to be honest. At least when they're going forward. At the back, they're all over the shop. I mean, they took the lead last weekend against Newcastle for a perfect example, and then they just fell apart and they lost the game 3-1 at home. They've conceded 3 goals now, actually, in each of their last 3 games. However, they have scored in all of those games as well. I'm not really sure if this game is going to have loads of goals in it, but I really can see both teams finding the back of the net. So instead of overs for this game, I'm going for both teams to score. And speaking of Newcastle, let's look at their home game now against Fulham. Newcastle, as I said, comfortably beat Southampton away on the weekend with that man Isaac bagging a double, and they're now up in 5th place, just 1 point behind Man City in the top 4. They'll be hoping that Arsenal can do them a favour this weekend, but in the meantime, they'll be looking to get the 3 points from this tricky home game against Fulham. Fulham surprisingly lost 1-0 at home to Manchester United last time out. They did create a lot of scoring chances in that game with the likes of Alex Iwobi at the heart of most of those attacks, and Adama Traore, when he came on, had a few good opportunities to score as well. They ultimately conceded the only goal from a deflected long-range Lisandro Martinez shot, and they almost equalised. I mean, they had a header cleared off the line, and Man U had a second goal ruled out for offside, and in the end, Fulham just lost the game 1-0. Away from home, though, they are more adventurous and they do tend to score goals. They've scored 2 goals in each of their last 4 away games now, and when you consider the fact that Newcastle lost their last home game 4-1, it makes me think that there's got to be quite a few goals in this one as well. Newcastle, they will be the favourites to get the home win here, but I don't see them getting the clean sheet in this game, so my prediction for Newcastle versus Fulham is for over 2.5 goals. What's your thoughts on this game? Let me know if you think Newcastle will break into the top 4 this weekend down in the comments. Brentford, they're happy up in 11th place right now. They're hosting a Tottenham side, not so happy, down in 15th. Brentford recorded a good 2-1 win away at Crystal Palace last weekend, and Tottenham, well, they did a Tottenham. And they lost what on paper was a very winnable game at home to Leicester. Ange Postecoglou is holding on to his job by this much. Although Tottenham's chairman Daniel Levy publicly is backing the Aussie, if things don't turn around quick smart, his days are surely numbered. This game for me screams goals. I can see Bournemouth's big man up front scoring a few, and if Tottenham get it right on the day, occasionally they do, then the likes of Son or Richarlison or even Solanke, they're all possible goal scorers in this game. So I'm going to keep it simple and go for goals in this game. I really like goals. Brentford at home against Tottenham, my prediction over 2.5 goals. And this game really has the potential to be one of the most exciting games of the coming weekend. And the next game has the potential to be one of the most important games, not just of this weekend, of the whole season, as second hosts 4th, as it's Arsenal against Manchester City. Arsenal beat Wolves 1-0 last weekend to keep chase with the league leaders Liverpool, and they did it the hard way, having to play the majority of the game with only 10 men. Both teams had quite a few chances to score in that game, and I think that's going to be the case this weekend as well. The Gunners, they play really good football and they're capable of opening up the tightest defences in the EPL, and Man City's defence is by no means one of the tightest. They are, however, outscoring their opponents at the moment, and they'll be looking to continue their return to form and back up the league table this weekend. Guardiola's side eventually overcame Chelsea at home last weekend once Pep had rectified his initial lineup, because he surprised everyone by including his 2 new signings in that starting lineup. Not surprisingly though, they didn't quite gel with the first 11, and only once De Bruyne and John Stones were brought back into the team did Man City really get a grip on that game. Now I do think Pep needs to get his team selection right from the start in this game, as any slip-ups this week will surely cost them costly points and any chance of regaining the title. If there is an early goal in this game, then it could potentially open the game up and we could be in for a real thriller of a game. If not, I think both teams might just try and cancel each other out for fear of losing the game, and it might end up in a draw. So for me, my prediction for this game, I'm just going to stick with both teams to score. If I had to pick a winner, I'd probably think Man City will continue their good run and get the win here. But I'm just going to pick between Arsenal and Man City, both teams to score. Let me know who you think will win this top of the table crucial encounter down in the comments. Off to Spain now, and our first game in La Liga sees Atletico Madrid hosting Mallorca. Atletico are looking to hold on to second place for as long as they can because Barca's coming, and this weekend's opponents in Mallorca should provide not too much of a challenge, to be honest. Yes, Mallorca, they're in 7th place in La Liga now, but they have lost their last 4 games and also their last 4 games against Atletico Madrid as well. Villarreal, Atletico's opponents last weekend, well, they smashed 4 past Mallorca. Real Madrid also beat Mallorca by a 3-goal margin, and Barcelona smashed 5 goals past them. So this game is pretty much a no-brainer for me, and I see Atletico Madrid getting a comfortable home win and probably keeping a clean sheet in the process. But just to keep it safe, my prediction for Atletico Madrid versus Mallorca is straightforward, a home win for Atletico. Next up, Real Madrid are travelling to Barcelona. Lucky for them, only to play Espanyol. It's 1st versus 18th this weekend, as both teams will really be giving their all to take the vital 3 points, but for very different reasons. Espanyol, once again, they're in the relegation zone, and even though they've only lost 1 game from their last 5, they're still really not managing to escape the relegation zone and climb up the table to safety. Madrid, on the other hand, they just keep on winning, and they're starting to look like that they can keep on winning against whoever they want, whenever they want, except against Barca. This weekend, it's just going to be more of the same. Even if Espanyol do score a goal in their game, and they might because they're scoring recently, Madrid will just go on to score 3 or 4 and come away with another 3 points. And yes, Kylian Mbappe will probably score again as he takes all of Madrid's many penalties. So my prediction is for Real Madrid to beat Espanyol and to score at least 2 goals in an away win for Real Madrid. And the final game I'm looking at this weekend sees Barcelona in 3rd place hosting Deportivo Alaves way down in 17th. Barcelona really turned it on against Valencia last weekend, smashing 7 goals past them, and 5 of those goals actually came in the first half. Scratch that, 4 of those goals came in the first 25 minutes. Man, when this Barca turns it on, they turn it on, and it's going to be a very long day at the office, I feel, for the Alaves defense this weekend as they do their very best to hold out this Barca attack for as long as they can. Even though Alaves have only lost 1 of their last 7 games and by a single goal margin, I think that this weekend's result is going to put a serious dent in their goal margin. I can only see one thing happening in this game, and that is another convincing Barcelona win with well over 2.5 goals in this game. However, just to be on the safer side, I'm going to predict a home win for Barcelona and over 2.5 goals in this game. So this weekend, I think the top 3 in Spain will remain the same. Let me know your predictions for any games in La Liga or the EPL down in the comments. And now for my top 3 safest predictions for this weekend's games. Now, I've given these a lot of thoughts, and I do think that these are all bankers. Let's start off with prediction number 3, and that is for over 2.5 goals between Bournemouth and Liverpool. That's going to be a great game. My second safest prediction is for Real Madrid to win against Espanyol and to score 2 or more goals in that game as well. I sounded a bit too excited when I said that, didn't I? And my safest prediction for this week sees Barcelona winning at home and over 2.5 goals in that game. They are my top 3 safest predictions for this weekend. And now for my mega multi. This week, my multi is going to be made up of, drumroll please, Newcastle to win against Fulham with both teams scoring and Isaac getting on the score sheet for Newcastle. Brentford beating Tottenham at home with both teams scoring and the big man Mbeumo getting on the score sheet for Brentford. I've also got Arsenal and Man City playing out a score draw together in their game, and the last game in my mega multi sees Barcelona destroying Alaves this weekend by getting the home win with over 3.5 goals in this game, with the first half seeing at least 2 goals in it, and I see Robert Lewandowski scoring at least 2 goals in this game as well. He scored a hat-trick when they played earlier on in the season. That is my mega multi for this week, guys. You got to be in it to win it. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy the amazing football coming this weekend. Get your predictions in down below. Don't forget to please like and subscribe to this channel and share it with all your footballing mates. And I'll see you all again here very soon. Bye for now.